Welcome back to the Whatnauts Reactor Core. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Ignacio Rojas. May the fourth be with you, Ignacio.
Hello there.
There you go. We are here to do our reactions to the first three of Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're out there. We're halfway through the show. I'm excited to finally sit down and talk about this. I guess it's not, I mean, it's our reactions, but we're recording this on the Saturday after, so it's not like initially right when it came out, reactions, oh my God.
Yeah.
But here we are to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ignacio, let's start with you. What did you think about the first three episodes?
I am enjoying the show. Yeah, I really liked it. I like this take on, everything got fucked up after episode 3. So
Yep.
I like that this show is dealing with that. It is Kenobi dealing with kind of like the trauma of everything used to be good and now everything's fucked up and it's kind of my fault and I had to go into exile. And I like the portrayal of Kenobi as
Sure.
he was really shaken. He really think everything's fucked up. And I really like that. And I'm waiting to see when the change occurs for him, because that's not how you find him on episode 4 with Alec Guinness.
For sure. Yeah. It's interesting because like he is this like tortured character in the sense that he thought things ended badly, but he thought things were fine, right? He was like, well, we escaped. Luke and Leia, they're safe. We need to watch over them. But it still stinks that the Empire's there. But things were okay. And he's starting to realize that, no, they are not. And it really feels like he just in his own shame or in his own defeat, kind of closed himself off from the horse and is starting to get old and bitter and is just not in a good place. But yeah, I think that focus in on the character and what's going on with his mind mixed with the more espionage stuff of him trying to stay out of the Inquisitors crosshairs is incredible. I love it. It's like that. It's like a spy thing, but it's not. There's some espionage.
It is like a manhunt thing where
right.
He was in exile, but he was forced to come out of exile to find Leia. But while trying to find Leia, while trying to get her to safety, he is still being hunted. And so they have to go at it such in a secretive way, so hiding everywhere.
Exactly.
That adds to it.
Yeah, I'm liking this show a lot so far. I really, really hope this sticks the landing. Because if it does, this will be up there probably in as one of my favorite Star Wars pieces of media. I'm a big fan of the cartoons and stuff like that. But they're doing something right with this, and it feels very different and distinct from the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett that they've done already. So I'm enjoying this a lot. That said, I think episode 1 was pretty slow. For the most part, it was slower. And if you're not as big of a Star Wars fan, that first one might be harder to get into. Might not sell you exactly, but I thought the hook of the show was fantastic. I think from all of the trailers, we thought he was gonna kind of be on his own, just out there running from these Inquisitors, or somehow doing that to lead them away from Luke, or this or that. But no, it's Leia.
Yeah.
That was like the big reveal, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. I didn't think about that. Like, didn't really consider that as an option. So what did you think of the first one in particular?
I liked it in because it set the tone to what I said before. That was the tone of everything's fucked up. Obi-Wan knows that he fucked up, and so he's in exile. And episode 1 to me does a great job at that, because the Jedi are being hunted, and it starts with a Jedi try to do good, try to save this one place, and now the Inquisitors are there because of it, and now he is being hunted. And turns out this guy tried to get help from Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan wants nothing with that.
Yeah,
he wants nothing. He kind of like is now on the mindset of, we lost, we just need to survive right now. So I don't know who you are, go away. I need to stand over in my rock house and look at this kid, look over this kid. Yeah. So I liked it as a way to set up that tone of the show.
For sure. There's an interesting thing, because in the cartoons, I mean, it will in the movies too, but in Clone Wars, he has a rivalry with Darth Maul, of course, because Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon. But they're like something that Darth Maul repeats in the show is that, hey, the Jedi lost. Like the time for the Jedi is over and done with. And so to hear Darth Maul be saying that stuff, and him holding on to like, no, we're still here, like all that stuff. And then in this show, he's like, yeah, no, we lost. The time of the Jedi is done for. Is interesting to see. And I think it's just a neat, like, tip of the hat. Like, hey, if you know the rivalry between them, that's a more poignant moment of just like, wow, he has really accepted that, like, he's just gonna be a bitter old man on the run now. Yep. So there you go. Thoughts on the Inquisitors? I know you're slightly familiar with them from the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order video game, but now we get to see them in a live action show. What did you think of them?
So far, so good. I don't have any real negative thoughts for the Inquisitors, but I don't know. Like there's of course the one Inquisitor that the show is focusing on.
The third sister, yeah.
The third sister, yeah. But I feel like the other Inquisitors don't get much to do to show off that because they are supposed to be this very important part of the thing, where they are not Jedi, they're not Sith, but they still have powers, they still have their swords, and they are out there hunting Jedi. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the hunting part only is really shown with the third sister, where the other ones are more subdued, they're more calm. You see it in episode 1, where she goes out there, she starts to threaten Owen Lars to just to find Obi-Wan, and then the other one comes in and she's like, if you see a Jedi, call us, we are out. And so maybe I need more from them to show that they are really this force that are to be scared of.
Yeah.
To feel threatened.
It's so the third sister is acting out is kind of the thing, is that she has this obsession for some reason with Obi-Wan. She thinks she's like, she has some kind of grievance to pick with with him there, and we don't know exactly what that is yet.
I think it probably has to do with the flashback to the temple.
It very well could be. She could have been one of the younglings during that time. But yeah, we don't know exactly yet. It is Obi-Wan, but like it's specifically towards him. It's not just like the Jedi in general. Like she has that, but there's something about like Obi-Wan, like damn you, Obi-Wan. And I'm interested in finding that, but I think they have a very specific method for finding these Jedi, and that's why I think the other Inquisitors are kind of hanging back and trying to let that process happen, whereas she is a little bit more emotional, and stuff like that. And that's not a bad thing. Don't take that the wrong way. But just like she has that like that thing against Kenobi that is causing her to act out. And I like it. I find it fascinating, because yeah, of the Inquisitors that we've seen so far, I think she is the scariest because she's acting out. And then I would say the Grand Inquisitor after that, just because he's so methodical and calculated. But that's just me.
So dead.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe not. Because the Grand Inquisitor is in Star Wars Rebels, which takes place loosely around the same time, but after this.
Who knows?
So there is some like, does being a Grand Inquisitor change the way you look to match that thing there? Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, we're not sure exactly if he's dead or if this is a retcon to the cartoons or something like that. But yeah, she stabbed him
Yep.
right through the stomach. I thought that was interesting. But there you go. Then we got our first look at Anakin, at Darth Vader. God, I love that final scene in the first one where where Kenobi is first starting to realize that like, oh shit, he is still out there. Like I've locked myself away like so much that I didn't even consider the possibility that someone saved him or that. And yeah, this guy Darth Vader, yeah, about equal in power. Interesting, huh?
No, would he have known that Anakin was Vader, considering in episode 3 Anakin was already calling or being called Darth Vader?
In episode 3, he wasn't really called Darth Vader in front of Obi-Wan. Like that, he's starting to.
No, because he, in the recording, remember, Obi-Wan sees the recording of Palpatine giving him the name.
Does he? I don't remember the specifics of what was said.
He sees that conversation in the recording.
Interesting. If that's true, then he should know.
But maybe he doesn't know that Vader is a thing still out there. He is in Tatooine. Maybe he has no reason to ever hear the name Darth Vader.
I don't know. See, I was under the impression that he knew Darth Vader was a thing. Because he's been out there hunting the Jedi too. Like he's been out and about. It's 10 years after the fact. Mm-hmm. So we know that he's not been in that back to tank for 10 whole years to do that. He's gotten out. He's done that stuff. He knows there's a new power. But I was under the impression that he never knew who it was underneath there. He thought Anakin was dead, all that stuff. So I feel like this show is him putting that all together. That, oh shit, he's not dead. Oh shit, he's Darth Vader.
I don't know. I can see it. Obi-Wan never actually hearing anything about Darth Vader, since
I'll have to go back
he has shut himself off of anything that's not him trying to survive and him looking over at Luke. So I could very well see that he never hears about anything to do with the Empire that hasn't to do with the Empire coming into Tatooine, because also Tatooine isn't part of the Republic or the Empire, or however you want to say
yeah.
it.
Interesting.
I could see that he never heard of Darth Vader.
Who knows? Not me.
Who
knows? But yeah, I like the reveal of that, and then once we get to see him in the third one, I thought that was fun to get to see them confront one another.
One thing about Vader that I don't know how I feel is that they have Hayden Christensen. They have him on the show. They keep promoting him. Apart from the shot of him in the tank, it could have been just any person there.
For sure.
Being in the suit, since that's not his voice.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be some kind of confrontation where the helmet is off, like all that stuff, and he recognizes him, and they do have some kind of confrontation. But as you alluded to, there is some kind of turn or something. Like there's something that happens, because when we see Obi-Wan in episode 4, he's again closed off and doesn't really seem to remember Darth Vader exactly, or is at least doesn't really say enough one way or another, and is again just kind of closed off. And also the Inquisitors are no longer a thing as far as we know. So something happens within a handful of years after this, and we don't know what yet. So that'll be interesting to hopefully at least get clued in on what happens here. So what did you think of little Leia running around?
I wasn't expecting it. I do like her being there. Sure. All right, like Obi-Wan having to take care of her, because I like the back and forth, how Obi-Wan is now this close off. He's close off from the entire world. He doesn't want to cause a ruckus. He is just always sad, always like nothing's going on here. While Leia is always so open, so talkative. So you see that in the interaction where they she tries to get a ride to the port, and he clearly was nothing to do with it. And so I like the dynamic between them. And I also like that, hey, Obi-Wan in episode 4 gets a lot of time with Luke, not much with Leia, if any. So I like him actually getting some time with her, because also you get the impression that Leia knew Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
somehow.
I mean, we see both at the end of Rogue One, and then at the start of the first original Star Wars, that she is like being like, "You're my only hope, Obi-Wan, save me." And so, like, she at least knew of him. This is now suggesting that, hey, no, she knows him and knows the right buttons to hit. Like, hey, you fought with my father in the Clone Wars and all that stuff. So that's neat. Like it makes complete sense now that it, like, we know that that's what is happening in this show. But man, I was not expecting this at all. This was like, oh, okay, so maybe they think they found Luke and he wants to like use himself as bait to go off planet and like get them away from Luke and all this stuff. And nope, it's Leia's been kidnapped. And I liked her a lot. I liked how she's super smart. She's sassy. Like that is her. That is what we know of her in the original trilogy. And I think she did a great job portraying that. I I do have to say the chase scene where she's running from those three guys a little more cartoonish.
They cannot catch up to her.
And then the one guy that hits the branch and is just like, oh god damn it.
Yeah.
That was a little cheesy, but I'll give him a pass. That I think the rest of this show is fantastic. I'm liking this a lot. Yeah, I think the other things that are interesting to me about this show, someone in a Discord that I'm in is like, why is he still in his Jedi robes? Like, this is like his mugshot is of him like in these like, why doesn't he like change his appearance, his clothes, like all that stuff? And I was like, while I agree with you, there are multiple times in the movies where people, when they're told about the Jedi or the Force, they're just like, wait, that's a real thing? Like, that's not like, so I can see that, like, the common folk don't necessarily know who or what the Jedi are or what they look like. But yeah, he's like, his mug shot is out there of just like, this is what he looks like, and there he is in the same outfit.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really, really funny. And then there's this in the third one when they find help on that planet and they start to go in that tunnel to get them to the spaceport. How did the third sister go from one end of the tunnel to the opposite end without going through the tunnel to then find in a matter of
also,
seconds?
how did she know where to go?
Exactly.
Like, how did she know where the tunnel ended?
The opposite end would be? I don't understand that exactly. I could see how she could deduce that by all the writing on the wall, like, okay, this was an underground passage for the rebels to escape, to do all that stuff, meaning it would probably lead to the port. And so if she goes up and takes a speeder or something, that would make sense. But they didn't show that. But like you just said, yeah, how does she know exactly what house I feel like the amount of time for her to then find that one, like, I don't know. It just, little
also,
strange there. But
also, Vader, why did he stop? He had Obi-Wan there. The one woman shot at the thing, and now there's fire. He could still pick him up using the Force. There's nothing stopping him.
Yeah, I guess we haven't really seen Darth Vader be. So yeah, sure, he could use his Force choke, right, and do it that way, and
not even that.
Bring him out that way.
You can even just walk around, pick him up with your Force. Do anything. Why did he get stopped by the fire?
She made the fire big enough that the time it would take for him to go around. It wasn't that big, but enough that, like, by the time he was like, all right, let's go around this stupid thing, they would have been off.
Could have jumped.
I was thinking about jumping first, but we also haven't seen Darth Vader be that nimble. Is the thing. So I'm wondering if the scars and burns and mechanical parts of him in there just aren't as reactive, or as, like, it's still hard for him to use his, like, he's super like, it's an iffy, like, I'm grasping at straws here. Like, I don't see why he can't just, like, force himself over the fire, but, like, still, like, we haven't seen him be that limber. We've only seen him, like, walk menacingly.
But still, so you're telling me that Vader is right in front of Kenobi with his stormtroopers, Granted, okay, there's fire in between, but then the woman there, she is up on a cliff. She has time to get down there, get Kenobi, open field. It's very open, and then they can escape from Darth Vader.
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. It's there's some just like, wait, what, why, how?
Yeah.
Huh? What's going on here? But yeah, I do like what they're trying to do. I like that this is more of a like a character study rather than like the Mandalorian, which is maybe a little more like continuing the plot of Star Wars Rebels and stuff like that, or the Book of Boba Fett, which is more a crime drama kind of thing, kind of maybe. And this is more like character focus, which I like a lot.
Yeah. And the fight was great. I thought it was great, especially the kind of like the psychological aspect of the fight where Kenobi, as soon as he saw Vader, he ran away, and then there's Vader taunting him.
Yeah.
And throughout the fight, you see that Kenobi can no longer keep up with him. Episode 3, they had this fight where they were toe to toe, and now Kenobi is having a struggle. He clearly hasn't been training. He's lost his connection to the Force, whatever. Mm-hmm. And now Vader is just playing with him. He has the upper hand. He has the higher ground now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really like the fight that we got.
Yeah. Because it on one hand, I want the like super fast lightsaber action packed choreography, but yeah, you also get to like the original trilogy and they didn't have that, right? It was just the like which is kind of cheesy, but I think in this particular case it makes a great deal of sense that they are trying to reconcile with what happened and what one another did here, that it is more of a psychological just like revelation than an actual fight, right? So yeah, it is slower and he's trying to run away and yeah so who knows. Yep. But I like what they're doing so far, despite some of these smaller details maybe not adding up exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping that this show sticks the landing. Is there something you want to see more of in the second half of this show? Something you don't want to see? What are you predicting for the final half?
What I want to see is more interactions between Vader and Obi-Wan, and also give me a reason as to why Hayden Christensen is there.
For sure, yeah.
Why he is there, and maybe show me some flashbacks. Show me some flashbacks to the time of the Galactic Republic. For
sure. Yeah, I would like to see. I think at first, before the show came on, I was like, give me Darth Maul. Like, put Darth Maul in there. We know he's out there. But now, no, I don't want him. I do want it to focus on this kind of reconciliation between Kenobi and Skywalker. And I just, I really hope they have a scene where, he takes off the helmet and they have to confront one another that way. And yeah, like you said, I'd like to actually see Hayden Christensen do something, because as much as I'm glad to see James Earl Jones back voicing him, it's just like, you didn't really need Christensen, did you? Like, you kind of could have gotten anyone. But that said, I am glad that he is back in the show. So there you go. Hoping to see a little bit more of Leia, but I hope they resolve that quickly and that because as I am a big fan of the like lone wolf and cub trope, but they already kind of have that with the Mandalorian. So I'm kind of hoping he just, he's like, all right, now you're home safe. Let me go and deal with this thing here. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for down the road. But yeah, that is about it. I think that's our thoughts on the first half of Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus. We will be back to do our reactions for the second half once the rest of the show has been on Disney Plus. So be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks. I think be on the lookout for our reactions to Miss Marvel down the road too. I know we will be doing some of that. But yeah, I think that's about it. So Ignacio, where can the people find you on the internet?
The people can find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojasb. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. And if you want to stay up to date with us at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So please go like, share, and subscribe no matter what planet you might be hiding on. That would help us out a ton to spread the word. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.